Hello YouTube fans, here again. And I decided to do an 80s marathon, why not? I mean, not. This one's not being annoying. So we're going to go to this movie with my mate Arnold Schwarzenegger in a War Deal. War Deal. Now with this one, it's not going to be a rant and it's not really going to be a review. What do I mean by it's not going to be a rant and it's not going to be a review? What I mean is it an action movie? Is it not? It came out in 1986 anyway. And this is after Arnie had the big success of doing films, let's say like The Exterminator and one year before he did this, Commando. So he decided to want to do something a bit more straightforward, like a filler. But then people remember him doing action films. I mean, he did Job the Barbarian. He did in '84 Job the Destroyer. Same name as Commando. He did Red Sonja, even though he wasn't really the star of the film. He took the role. He appeared as Commando, so people just knew him now as Arnie with the big biceps. And it's one of them, is it a filler? Is it an action film? Starts off in a way where you've got Arnie as a cop with his partner, right? And he gets sent to go undercover and he decides to be a dancer. So it's one of these, is it a dancer film? Is it a thriller? What is it? I do admit though, I do like the look in War Deal. He has his hair all slicked back, gelled back. I gotta admit, he looks bloody cool. Arnold Schwarzenegger, he looks cool. But it's one of these, is it an action film? Because there's not any action in it. It feels to me like more of a drama than an action film. There's a bit where he goes to his wife and his wife's being bitsy and she makes this chocolate cake and Arnie says it's fatter and she folds it, a bit of humour there, he made a splat. There's a bit in it where, but he likes being a dancer, he gets a bit arrogant, he's got his hair slicked back, he's got these really, really styled made suits. He really looks the bit. You've got this one dirty fancies on it. He doesn't realise he's a cop undercover. There's a bit where they're having to go at these people in a nightclub, but a guy pulls a knife out and Arnie gets him and puts like red paint on him and says, you want to look like that? Make it out, it'll be blood. I do know the villain in it is the same villain who later appear in License to Kill. He played the villain in License to Kill. No fair said and done. And before him as the villain in License to Kill, because in this I just didn't think he was that much of a villain. Didn't think he was that much of a villain. But I do admit, he's alright, he's there. But the best bit I feel in A War Deal is the bit at the end. I mean, there's a bit where he's being Mick Jagger, the Rolling Stones. I can't get no satisfaction. I do admit, I thought that was a bit funny. Excuse the noise. I thought that was a bit funny. There's got a bit where there's being, I can't get no satisfaction. But the highlight of the film is a bit where he's got in the out, he's shooting people left, right, and centre. He's shooting up a bed. He's shooting up back to the everybody, and he says this line. This is what I call a risky business or something like that. And I just love the way Arnie looks in it. But it's one of these. To me, I felt that action, it was average. If it comes to an action film, I would have to say this was average. If I think of any Arnie films I'd like, it'd either be Commando, it'd be The Running Man, it'd be Coco it'd be the original Exterminator, any of them, because this one, the action, it's there. His boss gets shot anyway before he shoots up all the baddies. He ends up partly paralysed. He goes to hospital. He gets his boss to walk. Happy ending. Happy ending. That's all I can say about A War Deal. Happy ending. But it's one of them. It's one of them. Do I really go with it as being an action film? I do or not. But it's not a bad one. But like I say, I'm more into, if it comes to action films, I'd say War Deal. This is War Deal. See how it's messing my brain? I'd go for The Running Man. I'd go for Total Recall. I'd go for Predator. I'd go for any of them when it comes to an Arnie film. But War Deal, it's there. If you're going into action, I say the ending's more an action part, where he's got the tattoo, he's shooting the badges left, right and centre. You got one of the guys who's the main villain, who played the villain in License to Kill, who plays Sam Mace. And before him is Sam Mace, to be honest. I think he was just there. There's a bit in the night club and he's imitating Arnie and he does that to his ear. And I'm thinking, is Arnie going to twat him? But he don't. It's like he's starting to play the role more serious. It's not the Arnie I like, when he comes out with his witty liners. But he does do a good performance. It's a different known for him. I like the fact he has his hair slicked back. He wears suits. He looks smooth. So that's War Deal in 1986. It's one of them. I like it, but I'd say it's an average rating. I don't hate the film, but I don't go do Larry. You've heard what I just said, so I have to repeat it. If I'm going to go into action films of Arnie, I go into the ones I've just said without having to rewind back. Rewind back. But it's a good one. I'd say it's more of a filler. The action is more at the end. It's not a bad thing for an hour of your time. That's War Deal back in 1986. Into them. Be smart. Be safe. Average rating. Peace, man. And I'll see you later for movies and more movie reviews.